All right, we should be live. We've live? I think we're live.
I think so.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
we're good.
The restream wasn't giving me a signal, so I'm just getting a little
Mm-hmm.
confused. Hi! Oh my god. Welcome back to another RSG stream. An emergency stream because we've gotten some new information, Finn, and, well, we got some new information, Finn, about General Skywalker, and we are here to break it down. I'm Ranger Day 1999. That's my heterosexual life mate, Dr. Finn, medicine woman, the troll extraordinaire. Say hello, Dr. Finn.
Hi, peoples.
Okay. So let's just get into it. Hi, everybody out there in TV land. I see you out there in the chat and stuff. Wait, who's hitting me up in Discord? Stop hitting me up in Discord. I'm just going to turn it off. I'm just going to turn it off, Finn. I'm not even going to look at Discord. So, a lot of people in there already. So glad to see everybody here. Okie dokie. Let's break this down. Finn, have you had a chance to look at this yet?
I did.
Okay, I have too. So let's just read it out and then we will let our emotions dictate our thoughts. So here we go. Oh boy. Okay, so hi Hilo Table Heroes. Wait, who put this out there? This is from our good friend, the wonderful Salacious B. Crumb. It says, hi Hilo Table Heroes. Starting on October 11th, relive the Clone Wars and earn shards of General Skywalker in the all-new epic confrontation Clash on Camino. Take to the skies and battle the Separatist fleet as they attempt to distract General Skywalker from the invasion of Camino. Once the space battle is concluded, head to Topoka City to assist General Kenobi in his fight against General Grievous and the droid army. Then join General Skywalker and take on a familiar foe before finally allying yourself with the Separatists and dealing with one last obstacle to the mission: General Skywalker and his 501st clones. And if you guys don't know this is actually taken from Clone Wars. This actually did happen. I actually talked about this in one of the lore videos I did where Separatists attacked Camino. They looked like the ships were destroyed, but they weren't. They crash landed onto the planet. They were full of droids. The droids invaded the clone facilities, and then Shakti and Anakin. I don't remember Padme being there. Actually, I'm pretty sure 3PO and Padme were not there, but that's okay. But General Skywalker and the rest were there, and it was actually pretty good. If you go back and watch it, it was one of the better events that they did for the Clone War saga. So you can go back and watch that. So let's talk about the requirements. First, Finn, you have to be at least 85 to see the event. So if you're 84, you're no seeing this event for you. Tier 1. Anakin's Starfighter, 7 stars, 40,000 GP. And all Galactic Republic ships are Galactic Republic capital ship, 7 stars, 40,000 GP. And at least 3 other Galactic Republic ships, 7 stars, 40,000 GP. Okay. Ahsoka Tano for Tier 2. We're in the Tier 2 phase. So you need Ahsoka Tano, 7 stars, 17,700 GP. C-3PO, 7 stars, same. General Kenobi, same. Padme, same. Shakti, the same. Tier 3, all units needed are temporarily given to you for the battle. So for this one, we don't need anything. And then Tier 4, Asajj Ventress, and B1, B2, Jordica, and IG Magna Guard all have to be 17,700 GP. And it says, stay tuned to the forums this week for information on General Skywalker's kit. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, yeah. I'm going to let you go first, Finn. Actually, you know what? I always let you go first. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
All right. Oh, we got a donation from DSP. It says, I love the requirement, but we shall see how hard it is. Yeah. So, for me, let's go down the requirements for what we need. So, we need Galactic Republic ships. So, let's start with ships. What would I need to get this? Well, I'm not even going to sniff this event because, and I'm going to talk about this, Anakin Starfighter. I have been working on him, but I've had priorities to get 2 other characters that are needed for this, and this really irks me. You can see my Anakin's even relicked. well above the GP requirement, but he has to be 7 stars. I ain't sniffing this event because of this. Now, you can see I've been working on it. I've been working on him religiously. The drop rate at ships sucks awful in the ship nodes. And I can attest to that because having done 2 of the other characters that are needed for this event, B1 and Shakti, holy God in heaven. Me? They are awful. So, if you look at everything else for ships, if I go Galactic Republic, I've got the requirements for that. Other than Anakin, I won't have it. So all these other ships, and I could easily bump these other ships if I needed them to be well above 40,000. All the characters are more than high enough. If I added to the ships and stuff, I mean, you see I've got Ahsoka and Anakin and all this stuff, but I just will not have Anakin for this. So that's for my ships. For characters, let's look at the Galactic Republic side. So what do we need for the Galactic Republic side? So you're going to need, let's look through here again. We need Ahsoka. I've got her. C-3PO. Got him. General Kenobi. Definitely got him. I'd hope so. He's relic. Padme. She's good. And Shakti. Now, Shakti is Gear 9. I'm working on the Chirotex. So if I did one of her Zetas at least, I might get it. D Perks says, how many refreshes did you do? Because I feel like you should have had this event in the bag. D Perks, I've done an assload of refreshes for B1 and Shakti. You can go back and check all the streams and the progress I made. 25, 50. I bought the shards out of the store. So yeah.
Are you showing your screen? I think they're seeing. I don't know if you're using Bluetooth.
No, I'm just talking about what I'm doing right now. I'm not actually showing the screen. So do I need to show my screen? I can change that.
I don't know. When you're going through it might help.
Okay, I'm sorry. So we'll take this one off. Wait, why isn't BlueStack showing? Why is this being technically difficult? Okay, there we go. So I've got Zetas I can put on Shakti and get her at least to the power requirement, right? So that really isn't an issue. I can do that for Shakti, but the other ones are good. For the other characters, they're all there. So getting Shakti wouldn't be a problem. But yeah, thank you for the donation for D Perks. But when you consider B1 is a character that you need to get out ship hard nodes, and I refreshed and did the hell out of him and got shards out of the store, and then Shakti, you can only get so many shard drops. I mean, they're awful drop rates. But that's, Galactic Republic I can do. And then we go to the Separatist. What do we need? We need Asajj. She's good. B1 should be good, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. B2 is good. Droideka, I think, is a little short because I haven't added any gear or anything on him. Let me look. Droideka, where you is. I am working on him right now. So I'd have to get him up either with I need 1,000. I just took a mod off him too. So, I was doing that before we did this. So I'd have to do a little bit, but and then IG Magna Guard, he's not there either. Let's see, I just took him to 11. So he's a little short as well. So I'd have to do some gear. That's not too bad. The thing that's really the 17,700 doesn't really bother me with the characters. It's just that when they're adding ships to this event, and then the problem I'm having with this is that for a lot of us, now some people already have this done. If you spent money, great. If you got everything you need, great. But like for me, like it's like I'm not even going to sniff this event. So CG's not getting any money from me because I'm not going to spend a couple $100 to get Anakin's ETA 2 Starfighter. 3 of the characters, and this really bothers me, B1, Shakti, and Anakin's ETA are hard nodes, and they're damn near impossible to get fast. And I'm one of the ones, and you can see I've got Shakti and I've got B1, but that took me spending crystals, refreshing, on energy on the nodes to get B1, and that's at the end to buy shards out of the store to get those two done. So now I'm got to face with doing Anakin's ship the same way. There's no way on this God's green earth that I'm going to be able to get Anakin's ship to 7 stars in a week. So yeah, CG, you just, I think that's the thing that's really going to hit a lot of people here. Is that it's not the power level. Usually we're used to like one group, and I think a lot of people were working on. I think what's going to trip people up is going to be the ships. I think everybody's been working on. I mean, 3PO's been out for a long time. Kenobi, Padme's been out a while. So is Shakti. I think Shakti might trip some people up on this. The droids really not really tripping anybody up. Asajj definitely not. But I think the characters not so much. Maybe Shakti because she is so hard to get with her drop rate. And we've been working on these characters. We've especially people that have been working on this for a while. The droids and separatists we've been working on. So that's really not an issue. But the ships is going to be an issue. In a sense that if you've been working on these characters, you'll have the ships. I don't know how hard this event's going to be. Not having Kenobi's ship, I don't know if that's going to make a huge difference in this. Anakin's ETA Starfighter, that's the thing. You've got 3. That's the thing that's tripping me up, and it just pisses me off because it's like I was sitting there when I first saw this. I'm like, oh right, I really focused on the right things, and then I saw that goddamn Anakin ship. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. The one ship that I just started working hard on to get this done because I really have nothing else to farm. Like, I work on this and I'll get it ready. Not for this event. I wasn't even thinking this event. I'm just thinking line side GOTB. Like, I'm going to need this ship. Like, the same thing I'm working on Kenobi's ship. So, but as a veteran player, I don't think you have really much to say. If you're close, you can try to go for it. If Anakin is OP as I think they're going to make General Anakin, and they've got this character design look from Battlefront 2, as I've been saying, if you see it in Battlefront, it's going to come to Star Wars Galaxy Heroes and vice versa. So I'm surprised we don't. And when I saw the ARC Troopers, I'm like, I wonder where they got that design from. So it's all under EA's capital stuff. So yeah, but I didn't think that the requirement would be 7 stars. Like, it would be all 7 stars and the ships and everything like that. They're going to make a fortune with this because they're going to create a endemic panic farm for people like this. When this is the thing that really, I mean, it's so greedy. We just had Gear 13, and right after Gear 13, we just had relics, and people have been going crazy trying to get the relics done. So for people that may be close, they may not have the gear because they've been doing relics, because you have to do relics for GAC and other stuff. It's another money grab, guys. I mean, I can't state it any more than this. This is the event itself, I don't know how hard it's going to be. So, god damn it. CG, man, I think it's fair. I will say this. I think it's fair the GP power of the requirements. 17.7 is for as long as most of these characters have been out, I think it's a fair thing. I think the ship requirement 40,000. I mean, really, you need your character at Gear 11 and stuff. I don't think that's a problem. I just think some of these characters, because of just the grind and the amount of time you need to get them, is always one character where you're like, god damn it, just one character short. So yeah, it is what it is. So if you guys are looking for me to, but this is what they do, and CG's got to make money. They made a fortune off relics. They made a fortune off Gear 13. They're going to make a fortune off this. They create this. They know when they launch the stuff. And I give examples of dropping Chewbacca and then dropping immediately Jedi Knight Revan. They made a fortune off this. So yeah, but all in all, I think the power level's fair. I think the characters they chose were fair, in the sense that 17,700 I think is reasonable. I think the sheer amount of characters I think is going to be overwhelming for people, because you can only work on so much, right? Those mid-tier players that have been working on light side but haven't had a chance to work on GR because they're focused on separatist droids, right? So Unless they spend money, they can't catch up. And a lot of players, like the newer players that are going to want General Anakin, I can only imagine how much you're going to have to spend to even come close to stiffing this. So, I'm a little disappointed in anything. I was going to rage, but I promised Finn, since we're doing all this ACS stuff, that I would be very good. I'm very angry. I did say in the Discord I wanted to have the blood of the non-believers all over me and go into full ranger mode, but I'm not going to, because a lot of this is fair. Some of it I think is not fair, but Finn, I'm gonna let you say what you have to say, and then we'll see what chat's saying. So go ahead, Finn. What are your thoughts on this?
Do you have the OBS, by the way, where it shows our cameras and your BlueStacks? Because right now it's just BlueStacks.
Oh, yeah. So let me switch that. There we go.
So honestly, the way that they had this event actually made me quite happy. There's no denying that ETA, Shakti, and B1 all being fleet has made this somewhat difficult, right? But if you look at how they have done the Malik event and the Anakin event, particularly when we talk about Darth Revan, one of the biggest things that was said around the time that Darth Revan came out, if you remember, was that the characters had been free to play for so long that people got worried, and then you started to see the implementation of the gear check of 17,500. If you look at what they've also done in the game lately, they have introduced different versions of the Galactic Kit, which is a low-cost gear kit that they've been giving you in order to upgrade a lot of these characters. And a lot of the things that we've been saying over the past couple years in particular is that they haven't put things in the game that have wanted to make low-level spenders actually spend. Well, those galactic kits that give a lot of that stuff that you need for gear 12 and now even pushing to gear 13 is all in those packs. And they've moved it so that there are now things that low-level spenders can actually spend. What this event has shown, though, is if you look at the time frame that the characters have been out, for all of them, regardless of the fact that they're all in the same general area of fleet, B1 has been around for a while, Shakti's a little bit new, ETA has been around for a while. These are characters that if you had done 50s and 100s, or even if you just did 50s from the beginning of all of the refreshes, you had a chance, maybe not of Shakti, but for B1 and ETA to get them to 7-star, Shakti might be a little bit low, and chances are that they're going to put out some packs.
Well, yeah, you had to make a choice, right, with it, with which one.
Oh, of course. This game is all about choices. They're not going to give it.
Yeah, and someone's asked me, well, how come I don't have ETA done? Because the circumstances have dictated that I work on other stuff, right?
Well, there's also another thing, right? There's another aspect of it.
The ships were not that important, and I'm running the Millennium Falcon.
Well, I'm still not sure about the ETA was a really good ship. But
yeah, but not a
that
priority.
aside, what I think is being kind of missed in this overall thing is that part of what is causing a lot of concern, no, I won't say concern, for somebody like Ranger, right? One of the things that's changing now in the game that wasn't there before quite as much was now you don't need to save up all of these crystals in order to spend 40,000 crystals in order to get a single character for an event. You can see at least in the last two. Now, I don't know if this will last for a while or whether it's just for like these kind of characters, but I kind of like it this way, which is the panic farm is panic farming from as soon as they start to free to play and trying to get them to 7-star and then using crystals to supplement it afterwards. You're not seeing that I need 40,000 crystals in order to get a character to 7-star within 2 weeks for some of the last few releases that they've had. And so I like the direction that this is going. I think this character kit, right? So if you look at what you need for some of these, and I looked at mine, the requirements are actually not that bad. For the ships, Mace Windu at gear 11 is one of the easiest gears to get up to gear 11.
Yeah.
Character kit is not great, but his character is easy to gear up. And if you can get him to gear 11 and you work on his capital ship, he's an easy 7-star for 40,000 GP. Anakin's ETA is also, again, a very easy one because, one, he's one of the meta characters right now. So if you can get him to gear 12, and I was looking at mine, if you get him to gear 12 and you up the abilities and don't even use any of the ship Omega abilities. So most of mine are either level 6 or level 7. So I haven't even used like the rarest materials on it. My ETA is actually 48,000. So 40,000 GP on the ETA is really simple. Same thing with the Galactic Republic. The Rex, Fives, and Ahsoka ships are all, again, they're all characters that we need right now. Ahsoka fits into the Padme team. Fives and Rex are 501st. You know that they're coming in light side GOTB. These characters are all easy to get geared up, and the Ahsoka ship in particular, I have her at gear 11. Her ship, again, does not have any of the ship Omega abilities, and the ship is over 40,000. So it's not very hard to hit any of those thresholds. Similarly, all of the characters that are listed there are all pretty much meta characters. We're not seeing anything like the I'll actually put even the Jedi Knight Revan. Juhani we're using in that Karth team, but I don't think we necessarily needed her, right? So there's usually at least one character that we're really not using somewhere that sometimes causes us grief. We saw it more with Jedi Training Rey when we needed the veterans, and nobody really wanted to farm the veterans. But Ahsoka, 3PO, Kenobi, Padme, and Shakti, I mean, those are all pretty much characters that you know you're going to need, whether it's meta now or expecting to be a meta with Lightside GOTB. Same thing with the droids. This is part of the solid droid team that people are using with Grievous, B1, Droideka, Magna Guard, and then B2, right? And you can substitute out Droideka potentially and use a Newt or a Wat Tambor or whatever, but Droideka was part of that team, so you know he's there, plus you need him in Darkside GOTB. So none of these characters are really that much of a surprise. And I think that from a free-to-play perspective, expecting it the first time goes a little bit too far, right? This is, again, a game, but it has to make some kind of money, so they have to put some kind of paywall. The paywall that is at this event is considerably less than what it used to be. Because if you knew what you needed, basically starting from if you start from when it went to free to play and you just did refreshes and you just paid a little bit extra in terms of crystals in order to do extra refreshes, your actual money cost ends up being much less down the line. So when I saw this event personally, I was actually kind of thrilled because it really starts to move us away from what I hated the most, which is characters being released and then having to be used like 2 weeks later free to play without like any time period. All of the characters here have been meta characters, or at least pushing meta. They've been in a free to play realm for a while, and I think these are all going to be fairly easy for people to get the second time around. Expectations the first time around, it's nice if you're super focused and you keep on pushing it and you use all of your crystals for the refreshes, but that's unrealistic in a game that has to make money in order to survive. And I think the introduction of the galactic packs have made it so that gearing up to that 17,000 is a lot easier. I think the way that they're spacing it out so that you can actually have time in order to farm these things free to play, especially if you're higher in arena and you have the crystals in order to do the extra refreshes, especially since fleet is now 50 and you can it was always 50, but you know that the fleet is a 50 refresh. It's just like the regular energy. So you only need one regular energy refresh in order to do your 600, and then you can spend your other crystals on fleet. And you can still start to accumulate some. So in my opinion, I like that this is pointing towards a better direction, especially for those non-whales. Those that want to spend little amounts in this game now have the ability to spend those little amounts on things that are worthwhile. And I think this may end up being one of the easiest requirements for any of these kind of like super special type of events, and I would include the either legendary or journeys in that. So that would be like the Darth Revan and the well, not necessarily legendary. Let me say journeys and the Malik type epic events. So for the journeys and the epic events, this may end up being one of the easiest ones. This is, I think, going to end up having more people getting Anakin than they did Malik. and Malik had Revan behind a paywall. So it kind of shows you the differentiating factor here, especially when you look at there's what, two journey characters or two legendary characters, and it's Padme and 3PO. There's nothing in tier 4. Tier 4 doesn't have a single one. 3PO and Padme have come around at least twice, and Kenobi is a raid character. So if you're not in a heroic Sith guild or heroic AAT guild, that's where you may get hurt. Is actually the Kenobi is what I think is maybe the hardest one here, because if you're not in an AAT guild and you're wailing out and you're getting some of these other things, you may not have the Kenobi shards. But I think this may be one of the easiest ones, close to maybe CLS in terms of the release, because CLS we had a lot of time before they actually released the event and we speculated and farmed and all of that. But I think this may end up being one of the easiest requirements that they put into the game for a character that is as rare as Anakin is looking to be.
I mean, some of that I'll agree with, some of it I'm going to push back on. Someone asked, again, ETA and stuff. It's not like I haven't been working on Anakin. And I will do the refreshes. Someone just asked that, but I mean, I usually after 10 o'clock p.m. I have a system to it, right? I get my 45 energy and I spend all my energy. I'll get some extra ship energy and do the refresh and stuff like that. You can see that I don't have the hoard of crystals that I once did because I've been working just nonstop. Now, for me, I get one in arena and I do very well in, fleet. I don't really care about fleet, but I get enough crystals a day that I have been. You can sell for my roster. I mean, so after I got my separatist to a certain point, 16,500, for the guild, I started working on gear for the clones. Now, the gear for the clones is not an easy thing. Good Lord in heaven, the gear for those guys is a nightmarish. So I think that's going to trip up a lot of people too that don't have the clones. Well, you really don't need the clones. What am I talking about? Well, for ships, I guess, but I mean. So I started working on clones. I started working on Shakti. You can see Anakin, I was getting him higher relic. I'd had him done for a long time. I mean, I was lucky that I had GR done for a long time. There was a team that I invested in and got it squared away. I'm not worried about that. I'd done Kenobi. So I invested heavily in the GR team. I just really, I focused on the right things. It's just frustrating because it's not like I don't do the right things. I do the right things. I farmed B1 and spent crystals. I did the right thing with Shakti. As you can see, she's 7 stars. Refreshing her node and trying to get the drop rates are just awful. Anybody that has farmed that, I could tell you that they are awful. I thought the clones are going to be more involved with this, so if I had known that they were not going to be a part of this, I would have maybe cut back on them. I thought that they would be a part of this, so maybe that's why I short-sorted. Maybe I should have just gone. I don't know what I could have done. So yeah. So if you worked on the GR team in Separatists, which a lot of us that are doing the GOTB, you should be in a pretty good spot. Character-wise, and really your ships, guys, I want to worry about it. If you've been working on the characters, like if you've been working on your clones, you're going to get the benefit that your ships are going to be in a really good spot. I was looking at that as soon as I saw this and was going through my ships. I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. You see Rex is squared, or Ahsoka. Plo Koon, I guess, do a couple of hits there and he'll be good. I could even dick around, do Clone Sergeant or Jedi Consul if I really, really wanted to. Because I've got the stuff. I mean, Endurance should be fine because I know my Mace is, he's 41,000. I've already upgraded all his abilities and stuff. He's gear luck. So that really wasn't the deal. But yeah. I mean, I'll go for it. I'll try to get us to Anakin, but I mean, I can't increase the drop rate of Anakin's ETA any faster than it's farming. So I think some people are going to be, in the position that I'm in.
There's definitely going to be a lot of people not able to get it. When I say that these are the easiest ones, it doesn't mean that it's easy. what it means is that the amount of money required in order to get it is actually minimized compared to some of the other events. It's not that everyone can get it just free to play. Only really focused free to play players that are using their energy always to try and do refreshes up to the second level, meaning for fleet, they do the 50s and the 100s. In regular energy, they do the 50s and maybe a couple hundreds, like that. Like that's what they're spending their energy on in order to get shards first, which I've always said is usually the best way, because shards is usually the hardest thing to get. Gear, if you really want to, you can focus and get. Yeah. But shards to me is always the hardest thing to get. And there are a lot of players, especially free to play, that like are super focused. They'll try to get characters to 7-star very quickly. And so between the galactic gear packs that they put in there, which are pretty inexpensive compared to how much you're getting, plus if you did the refreshes from the beginning up to the second level, and you use your crystals on that specifically, right? So you do one regular energy plus you focus on fleet energy, right? There isn't a lot of spending that would have been needed if you had done this from the beginning and just tried to get characters 7-star. Now, I'm speaking specifically for veteran players, right? Players that have been playing for a while. For newer players, this is definitely something that they're going to have to spend on because they just haven't had the time to farm all of these.
No, they're going to have to spend a lot.
Players that have been playing for over 2.5 years, probably, they all should be somewhere close. And usually the breaking point is going to be Shakti, ETA, or B1 because they are all on fleet. And so that's where they have done their focus, right? So rather than making it so, and again, think about what it was compared to what it is now. I'm not saying that it's easy, but I think everyone would agree that it was easier because it used to be they used to release a character into Marquee, then they used to put it in the store for crystals at a rate that, unless you got like the jackpot, was worse than buying it for 80 crystals later, right? And then you would end up having to go into free to play and the character would be needed like 2-3 weeks later. So the amount of farming that you needed forced you to use crystals in order to buy the shards, which actually made it a worse drop rate than if you slow farmed it from the beginning with extra refreshes. What they did now is that they've given you more time to farm it. They might have put multiple characters on that same energy like they did fleet. So you would have had to go into one extra refresh, but you could have gotten all the stars, little money spent on the galactic packs, which are a good purchase, and you could have been there. And so that moves it away from that 40,000 crystal panic farm. Well, and so I'm not saying this is great. It's not going to be able to be gotten by free to play very easily.
Yeah, you're right on that side because I mean Malik, I just happened to luck into because I'd gone into Old Republic, right? Mm-hmm. But for this one, it's different because there's more characters, right? And 17,700 that's a lot.
It's a lot, but compared to the fact, but you knew that you needed 17.5 for Malik, so you've already kind of known.
But you kind of knew. I figured it was going to be around this. I actually thought it was going to be higher. But another factor is the Chirotex that you need for Shakti. That's really a pain in the ass for people because she needs from 8 to 9, from 9 to 10, which is what I'm working on her. She needs two sets of Chirotex.
It is,
and then 10 to 11. There's going to be another set, and then
so
you're farming that. But I'm in a position where I've been farming that, but the drop rates on the card checks have gone down.
Well, I'll point out just a couple other things though with that too, so to not forget. Remember that for your daily quests, they changed it now so that you basically just have to do light side or dark side, right? You have to do the 6. I don't think they even have the hard.
No, but
anymore, right?
But a lot of people
how
are
many
still farming
shards
characters.
are you farming from? How many shards?
Well,
are you
it
farming
depends
from
on where you are with your count, right? For me,
yeah,
right?
I know. I'm talking only veteran. Anyone that played earlier is going to have to spend money in order to get it, right? I'm not saying for anything of players that has started within the last like 2 years, maybe a year and a half.
Yeah.
If you started in that time period, you're definitely going to have to spend. And I also think it is unrealistic for players that don't have these kind of focused accounts and don't have everything to think that they should get it the first time around. I think that's unrealistic. If you came into this game later, there's going to be a lag in terms of when you get the latest things, unless you pay money in order to catch up. That's the logic in every single game. Every single game, if you come in late, you're not expecting to get the newest stuff at the beginning. You have to take time in order to get it. But for veteran players, there hasn't really been a lot for us to farm in the regular energy for hard nodes. hard nodes for regular energy has kind of stopped. If you had farmed them, you're pretty much done. And you might not even need to do 3 regular energy refreshes anymore. You're better off doing 1 in order to get your 600 and then moving to fleet. Not to mention the fact that they also recently changed it so that in your dailies, if you completed it all, you get either the Chirotechs or you get the battleships at the end of your dailies. So they've also made it so that within probably you get, I've seen I usually get around like 3 or 4 pieces, usually it's around 3. So within 2 weeks, you roughly get 1 full piece, right? And that, along with if you spend your regular energy in order to just basically farm the Chirotechs and the battleships, you can kind of pick up regular. I mean, I would say semi-regularly. I've been able to pick up the stun guns from the shard store. I've been able to get some from the guild event store with 1.
Yeah, but
so I mean, all the hard gear, if I had just accumulated it and focused on Shakti, I could have got her up. I've been focusing on Geo Brute Alpha, so my gear has been focusing elsewhere. But I don't.
Yeah,
if you focus and worked on it, it's not that bad.
It's Chirotechs, but I am farming it, but I am using energy. But when you only get 3, when you do 300 energy, and you're like, well, that sucks. it's just nothing you can do about it. It's the same thing with the hard nodes. I mean, we can go back, but the ship hard nodes really are garbage.
They are, but we've been done with them for a while. I mean, I think
some people are done with them for a while, and there's a lot.
You're talking about fleet. You're talking about the fleet, not regular energy.
No, I'm not talking about regular energy. I'm talking about fleet. The drop rates are just awful.
They are. You know, it's not a good drop rate, but we've had so much time that it's the same thing with mods, right? It's not necessarily about changing the drop rate. It's about volume of attempts is what gets you to the finish line.
It is volume of attempts, but even then, it's just.
That's always what it is. You have a percentage, and the only way to get to the 330 shards is volume.
Sure
you have to do
the drop rates suck because Finn, when you get 0 for 5 after you do a 50 refresh, it sucks.
I'm not saying that the drop rates don't suck, right? But if you know that the drop rate is 15%, 20%, whatever.
Yeah, it's really low. Right? So, I mean...
let's just say it's 20%. You know that you need 330 shards, minus whatever you get from the marquee or whatever. You know how many shards you need. You know how many attempts you need. It's all about getting those attempts. Because if you look at it on individual days, of course, it's going to fluctuate. That's what averages are. You're going to get some days that are lower, some days that are higher. I've had 0 out of 5. I've had 3 out of 5. Even on double drops, some days I'll get 0 and then I'll get 4, which means I got 2. So, I mean, ultimately, it all balances out in terms of average. If you look at it from day to day, of course, it's going to be frustrating. It's frustrating for me too, getting the 0.
The average is below average on these drop rates. But I kind of noticed a shift, and I don't know what it has been recently. The drop rates were really, really bad. And I don't know.
I usually get about 1 and 5. I mean, that's usually my average.
Yeah,
I'll sometimes get 0, but I've also gotten 4 and 3. So
you know, like Anakin today for a ship, I've been averaging 1.
Yeah, that's about right. I think drop rate is about 20%.
I've not sniffed 2 or higher, and I can't even think of how long for his fleet, his ship. No, now I recently went back to it because I started working on it. Then we had to work on Separatists, and then I had to work on Shakti, thinking that was going to be the event. So I had to make that choice to get Shakti done, thinking, yes, if I get my Shakti done, I'll be good, and then, you know, we'll figure out the rest, right? But, yeah, it's just... Yeah,
I mean, ultimately, it's just getting in all of those attempts in order to make up for the low percentage. So it just takes time. And you can do it earlier and just do extra refreshes to get those extra attempts in, and then over time.
But here's the thing that's drive me effing crazy, Finn. I have done that, and I'm still going to be short.
Well, how many refreshes did you do?
25 and 50, Finn. How many more did you want me to do?
You could go up 1 more. Did you do mod energy refreshes?
No.
What other refreshes did you do?
Energy.
And you did all the 50s?
Yes, Finn.
I know. I'm just asking because I don't know all the refreshes you did. So
I did those. I even did them on the air, man. Well,
and
a lot of them I did
you did all the 50s of the fleet energy?
Yeah, when I was doing B1 and Shakti, I mean, that's how I was able to get them done faster than what would take. I mean, I was doing the math on this. If you just do normal 1 a day and stuff, you would take 6 to 9 months.
Yep, it takes about 6 months.
Mm-hmm. But I did each of those in like 3, I think, or a little bit less than that.
So the best way to do it, and I don't know if this is the way you did or not, that's why I'm asking, but the best way to do it, especially when you have multiple things to farm, is to actually farm all the nodes rather than a single one.
Nah,
So you
I
can
disagree
spend
with
your
that.
energy, and then you don't have to refresh one of the nodes. So you don't go to the 50 on one of them, you do
Nah.
two 25s.
You get two
And then you
144 on that. I would use 50 to get additional energy, then hit the nodes, so that I was able to do multiple 20. The normal one, then 25, then 50. So I had 3 shots.
But why would you do a 50 on one if you need multiple characters rather than doing a 25
I didn't know
on
I was
another?
going to need the damn stupid shit, Finn. I'm just talking about.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying, right?
But
So
I already
the best
had
thing to
B1
do
done,
now
and
is
Shakti
to,
wasn't. But I will handle Anakin shit, but it's not going to do me any good now. It's just frustrating because like I've done all this stuff and I still have to spend money. I have to make a choice to spend money. I'm not spending money, so there will be no Ranger J goes for the event kind of thing. So
well, this is a point that Grande made the other day, which is true, that when you have all of these things to farm, right? And again, I always think that the shards is the hardest thing to farm, so I would always focus on the shards. When you have all of these things to farm, the best way to do it is use all of your free energy on all your free attempts. So do Shakti, do ETA, do B1, and then do the 25 refreshes on the one that you want to focus and keep them balanced. You never then have to go to the 50 refresh, which then ends up wasting crystals, because why use 50 on a refresh when you have another one that you need equally with 25?
I disagree.
Unless you're super focusing on one and then you're giving up one character for another. Then you're knowingly doing that. That's not efficiency. That's just focusing on one character.
I disagree.
And you can do that.
Super efficient. I think it's super efficient to be focused. What do we tell people all the time?
You will lose more crystals. That's what I'm saying. You're going to lose more crystals by doing it that way. It might be better for your team, especially if you're going to gear them up. I'm not saying there isn't value to it, but if you're looking from crystal efficiency, math will not support you. You will be better off by doing 25s first before jumping to the 50s if you have multiple one, because you're wasting 25 crystals on one day.
But
if you have multiple things to farm to get it to 7 stars, it'll always be better mathematically. Now, practically, if you're focusing on the droid team and you need to get B1, yeah, you're going to focus on B1 and get him higher. It's just going to work out that way. But if you're just looking to get him 7 star, period, just looking to get him 7 star, you distribute them first. You do all the frees, then you do all the 25s, then you do all the 50s. That's the way you would always do it, because that's the way the math would always work out, that you would use the least amount of crystals in order to get the most amount of shards.
But the problem with that logic, Finn, is that when you need characters to run dark side GOTB and then coming up for light side GOTB, you're not thinking about using your crystals for anything else, because if these aren't 7 stars, then there's no point. And the faster you can get them to 7 stars, that's why the 50 crystal is more important. It's not important for an ETA because you're not using him really anything. And you're only thinking, well, I may not have him for the ship battles in light side GOB right off the bat, right?
Like I said, it's all based on practice. So that's different, right? That's not math. That's going to be more practical. Do you have a better use for one character over another? And B1 has an extra value because he's dark side TOTB. So if you increased your refreshes in order to get more of B1 at the neglect of ETA, that's what happened. But if for somebody that focused on all of the characters, if they focused on Shakti, B1, and Anakin, or ETA, and they did all those refreshes, and then they'd refresh their 50 energies and refresh the 25s across the board for Shakti, B1, and ETA, they're going to be very close to having 7 stars for all 3. They're gonna be close because they also have additional crystals that they saved over time that they can use in order to plug and play a little bit here and there, and maybe even do the 50. But just from the perspective of crystals, they'll have more crystals, they'll have more shards, and they'll actually be able to, I think they'll be able to get 7 star. And then if they actually bought some of those galactic gear packs, they'll actually have all the stuff ready. No. It's not that it's easy. All I'm saying is that the amount that you need in order to get this event is actually going to be less than all of the other events. I think if they actually put out the stats, you're actually going to see more people getting General Skywalker than the amount of people that got Darth Malak.
Oh, I don't think so.
I think this has been free to play too long.
Many characters?
For older players, yeah, I think for sure. A lot of these characters have been around for how long?
I know.
Which ones are really, again, outside of B1, ETA, and Shakti? What is the sticking point in any of this?
All 3 of those characters are the sticking
outside of those
point.
3, right? So if you focus fleet, I think you can get those. But if those are your only 3 that you're stuck on, what else in there is there? Padme's been here twice. 3PO has been
I'm
here
not
either
talking
3 or
about
4
those
times.
characters, but it's the same.
But that's what I'm saying. What other characters? If we're
Even
down
though
to
there's
just
more
3,
characters, I'm not talking about that. There's always characters in any of this event that we had, like bounty hunters. We had bounty hunters, but you needed certain characters to make it work, right? So if you didn't have Bosk, you're basically hosed. You saw what I went through with not having Bosk. We spent 6 hours dealing with that.
There were people that got it without Bosk. It wasn't easy.
I know,
I'm not saying it'll be easy, but
yeah, the level of the event, I'm not. But I'm just saying it's more characters older that we should have already, and ships too, right? Problem is, ships has not been a focus. I really hate that they added ships to this. I saw in the Q&A, I'm like, I don't know about this, but.
But are you in danger of not getting 40,000 for some of these? You should have it.
No, I have it. It's a 7-star requirement. It's 17,700, and none of that. I think that's fair. But I'm saying is, I'm not just thinking about this from my perspective. I'm thinking about everybody's perspective about getting this character, right? So.
But if you look at the ships, right? Most of them aren't most of them in Galactic War?
They are some of them are in Galactic War, but I mean, like,
so Umbaran is, Ahsoka is,
yeah.
Rex is going to be in Fleet. So if you could have.
But if you think about it like this, who's really working on their Galactic Republic fleet, right? Until recently,
you don't have to work on it. That's the whole thing.
I know, but do you have the materials to take those ships to a certain level? The other thing too is, have you been working on those ships?
That's why I started out by saying you don't have to spend any ship omegas in order to get them over 40,000.
I know, but I'm saying, did you work on those ships? It's just saying there's things about this that it just rubs me the wrong way. It's fine, I think CG has got their head up their ass again. You can think it's a great deal, Finn. I think it's a shit deal.
I think it's a great direction for the game.
I think it's a shit direction for the game, because if this is the direction that this game is going to go, from a mid-tier to lower tier, at least with the other events, it was a few characters. This one is 10 characters plus a bunch of ships that you have to get. If you really want General Skywalker mid-tier to compete in GAC, because if he's going to be the kind of good character that we think he's going to be, if we think this is the meta-changing character, mid-tier and lower tier that are working on, what are they working on? We do their roster freeze all the time. They're working on Revens, they're working on Old Republic, they're working on all that kind of stuff, right? They haven't even sniffed GR. Some have, they just started working on GR. Maybe they went to GR first before Separatists, but they're nowhere near having both those teams squared away.
It's the same number of, isn't it the same number of characters? It's just one additional ship fleet. It's the same characters as used for Malik.
Malik had Malik had Jedi Knight Revan.
Yeah, he had 2 legendaries and 8 other characters that you needed. So does this one.
Yeah, so 10 for Malik, so that's the same. They've added ships.
They just added the ships, and the ships can be gotten through other sources except for ETA. ETA is really the only problem because we have 3 things, Shakti, B1, and ETA all from Fleet. That is the sticking point of this. They didn't make the legendaries like they did with the Malik event with Darth Revan so rare that only if you only got it the first time, you're eligible, right? Padme's been around twice. So if you got it Padme the second time, then you're good. And if you didn't get the second time, well, she's been around twice. You have your own reasons why. I'm one of them that didn't get Padme to 7-star the second time around because I just didn't have the time to do the event at that time. So I'll wait for the third time. But I also don't have Shakti at 7 stars, so tier 2 wasn't happening for me anyways. But I missed Padme the second time, and that's on me. I'm not going to say that it's hard to get Padme at 7 star, because second time around, free-to-play should be able to get her the second time around unless something happens. In real life, sometimes happens, or you didn't focus on the character, whatever it is. But again, it's 10 characters plus ships. A lot of these ships are from Galactic War, and Mace and the capital ships you should have been able to get by now if you just farmed them. There's only 4 of them really that you can farm, negotiators elsewhere, and we don't know if you'll need that one, if it'll make it easier, but you can go in with Mace Windu, right? Mace Windu is one of the easiest characters to gear up to gear 11, and that gets you to 40,000. You don't have to spend any of the currency really in order to do it. Same thing with the Galactic Republic ships. You spend the base currency ones that you probably have a lot of just because there hasn't been a lot of ships, and you accumulate a lot of the ship mats. You don't have to spend any of the ship omegas. So the Galactic Republic to 40,000 is easy. Anakin is basically a meta team, so getting ETA to 40,000 isn't terribly difficult either. And again, mine is gear 12 Anakin, and he doesn't have any of the ship omega abilities, and he's at 48,000, I think I saw. So the ships are there. They're another team. It's kind of ancillary, the power thing on ships, because 40,000 isn't terribly difficult with these characters because we know we need them. With Rex, Fives, Ahsoka, Anakin. Mace Windu is a little bit different, but if he's, again, an easy one, so that's why I'm giving a little bit of a pass. But again, he's one that maybe you don't have geared, that you'll need to gear up. But really, the only sticking point with all of this is that there's 3 characters in fleet. I mean, 3 characters in fleet nodes is really what's driving most of the rarity and what's going to drive most of the money in this. And so,
you just donated. He said $2. What did you put?
He said I had a legit question because
we'll go through. I'm about to pull up questions right now.
So the main issue here is that we have 3 characters in fleet, and that makes it very difficult, especially since, and I completely understand, because I am one that has not done all the refreshes, right? But I know if I had, I could have. I've been one of those that's been trying to save the extra crystals whenever I can, and the fact that fleet doesn't contribute to my 600 has also restricted me or stopped me from spending on fleet energy extra. But that being said, that was my choice, and now I'm not going to get him the first time around, but I'll get him the second time around. What you do, I'm free to play. That's the way it is. So I mean, the amount that you need in order to get this character is going to be less. Is the amount 0? Of course not. They're in the business to make money, right? But they've introduced things that have allowed actually smaller spenders, the goldfish and the dolphins, that have otherwise been neglected, the ability to actually get General Skywalker with this event. It's not. If you look at this, right, it's not the same as looking at Malik and thinking you need to spend $500 on getting Revan and then the gear. It's not the same. We've had these characters for so long. These characters are being used for so much. In fact, the droids and the tier 4 teams that you need, the tier 4 characters that you need are actually a lot of the same characters you might have used in order to get Padme. So it's not even like you're necessarily requiring a separate team that you haven't even worked on. Some of those you've already used to get Padme. B2 was probably on there. Asajj is one that people have for their Night Sisters and could have used on there. B1 is somebody, again, that you probably have started to work on, and maybe because of the Shakti stuff you didn't, so B1 might be behind.
Well, if you picked one over the other, Padme. You're going to be short, right?
Right. But the characters in Tier 4 were pretty much used for Padme. We were saying it before, the droids are, except for B1, is actually good on Padme. So I think that the requirements are actually better for the direction of the game to try and bring in smaller spenders. Because small spending could have gotten you to the point right now where this was not as much of the thought of a cash grab as some of the other stuff was. Newer players are always going to have to spend, right? So I'm not going to say that newer players are...
You mean to tell me, Finn, that this doesn't seem like a cash grab to you?
No, it doesn't. It's, in fact, it's actually, to me, there is a need to spend money, but it's not a cash grab like they're suddenly looking for people to spend about $100, $200, $300.
Of course they are, Finn. That's their whole business motto.
No, that's why I'm saying, if you look at the time that was that you had in order to get these characters, the introduction of the Galactic War, the Galactic Packs, they've introduced 3 different versions. There's a mini one in here right now that for some reason has
it's
3 different droideka shards.
It's $3.99. It has 5. I think it's a crap pack for what you get. The $8.99 is good, but it's 10 pieces of each. It's a good pack, but it's not overwhelming. That is helping you get these characters to the next level, Finn. You get your gear from doing stuff in the game more than you get from that one pack.
Don't forget the fact that they give you energy with that too.
They give you energy, yeah, but that's for farming character shards and stuff. I mean,
No, you can farm gear with that too.
You could, but I mean, I would be, unless you have.
But they give you
farm.
like 3 Droidica shards. They give you a bunch of energy. They give you 5 of a bunch of pieces, which are shards, rare. I'm not saying, I'm not just looking at one. I'm looking at its totality. I think it's worth the $4 that it's there. And they've had the $8 pack and the $7 pack and then the $7 pack.
I understand that, but those aren't these overwhelming packs that you're making them out to be. I mean,
I'm not saying they're overwhelming. What I'm saying is that they've introduced more and more into the game to bring in smaller spenders.
They have,
and I think this event is another line.
But that's not going to make the difference in someone being ready.
Did you buy those packs?
Yes, I bought those packs.
Where did you spend it? I feel like you could have gotten Shakti to higher gear with those 2 Chirotechs if you had bought them. Because you get the Chirotechs in there.
The Chirotechs come with what? How many Chirotechs, Finn?
Didn't you get one Chirotech in those packs?
The $8.99 one?
I thought those ones had the Chirotechs in there, didn't they?
No, brother. No. You got like stun guns, you got all the other ancillary gear and stuff. You got 500 energy.
I thought there was one of the packs that had the Chirotechs in there that they put in.
I don't remember that because I would have been happy as hell can be.
I mean, all those packs so far, as I've seen them, have been.
I've bought the packs. They help, but they're not like the be all end all thing. They give.
I'm not saying they're the be all end all. I'm just saying the game is moving towards the direction of bringing in the smaller spenders.
But the small spending, and this event is but I guarantee you, Finn, I'll bet money on this, that when this event comes, you're going to see those huge packs in the store that people are going to be gobbling up trying to get this.
Of course, newer players aren't going to be able to do the little spending.
Cash grab comes in.
But then everything that they put in is going to be a cash grab because newer players aren't going to have it.
But the problem is that this is why they're doing it, Finn.
If they're doing it for the newer players, that's fine. But it's unrealistic to expect newer players to get everything the first time around if they started within the last year.
It's unrealistic to really, if you think about it, for 1.3 million GP to spend $500-$600 to have that many relics that we've seen on some of these accounts.
Nobody's telling them to.
Nobody's telling them to. But if you want to compete and be a part of doing what you're trying to do and have the characters that you need, that's what they do. They create this incentive.
Well,
like,
okay,
you resist. I mean, you can be like, we don't care, right? Some people are not you and me. They will spend the money.
Unless you're really unlucky. If you're a newer player at 1.3 million, how many people do you think are actually spending to get these things the first time around on that shard?
Oh, I don't have the numbers, but I know it's a lot. But because when I see the amount of...
No. There might be a lot in total. But on a particular shard, I would be surprised if for some reason you were top 1 and these events come out and then suddenly you're out of the top 10. That would be really unlucky if all of a sudden you had 10 mega whales spending like $1,000.
There's always a lot of shards where you have...
There's always going to be the exceptions, but in general, I mean... I don't think it's as big a problem as you're making it. And then same thing with Grand Arena. Grand Arena now matches you up with people in your roster. So if you have people taking gear 12 and 13 and relicking, you might be 1.3 million. You're not going to face them.
GAC is something else. I'm talking about Squad Arena.
So Squad Arena, you might not be able to get into the top, top 5 maybe. I don't think there's that many whales.
I think...
If they're distributed, it's hard to get that many whales.
There's a lot of whales, man. And I saw it in my shard where it's like, holy crap, you guys got Relic 7 already? It's like, god dang, man, it just came out.
Yeah, but that's a veteran. That's different. You have to...
There's no differences in a spender between a veteran and a new player. If they're going to spend money, they're going to spend money.
Ask Grande how much Cantina energy he had saved.
But he had things that he didn't have to necessarily spend. Right?
Well, that's my point. You're saying there's not a difference. There is.
No, there's a difference.
Veterans don't have things to spend on, so they have extra.
I'm not talking about energy, Finn. I'm talking about getting
that's how you get the relic
and
stuff.
The relic pieces.
How do you get you could only get the relic pieces by spending Cantina energy.
You can get the relic pieces by spending $500, which is a lot, but a lot of people did.
Yeah, you could do that too.
I mean, how many were Relic 7? 31,000, and Relic 6 was 131,000. So to tell me that CG's you know, it's not monetary. I know it's monetary. It's
When did I say it wasn't monetary? I said they're bringing in lower spenders. I didn't say they weren't getting spenders.
How are they bringing in lower spenders to this, Finn?
Because they've introduced ways for veteran players that have previously said we're not going to spend anymore to actually spend just a little bit. You could probably get, a lot of players could probably get everything that they needed for this event in close to under $100. When was the last time you could say for a legendary or something of this level that spending less than $100 was possible to get a character? We've been at the point where we've been spending $300, $400 for a character. We've looked at it the entire time. Veteran players have had to spend $300 to $400, maybe even $500 in order to get it. We're at the point now that these characters have been around for so long. If gear is really the only thing, and they're introducing other gear packs, that really only $100 may be needed in order to get it. I mean, that's for veteran players. Newer players are always going to have to spend because they haven't been around as long, so they don't have as much of the stuff that we consider ancillary at this point. And so they're going to have to spend, but it's also unrealistic to think that newer players are not going to have to spend in order to get stuff in order to make up for 2 years.
I didn't say that, but I'm saying they are going to have to spend. And veteran players spend still fortune in this game too, because you can have all that cantina you have. It barely got you to a certain relative level.
But if whales are always going to spend, how do you get the lower spenders to spend?
You create the panic that you have to have these characters.
Lower spenders aren't going to spend because of it. Lower spenders have closed their wallets.
People that don't spend money in this game that don't care are not. There's 3 types of people in this world, Finn. There's people that will always buy, there's people that will never buy, and there's people that will sometimes buy. And the ones in the middle is where you try to create the panic. Because the ones on the end, the top end will always buy. No matter what you do, they're going to buy. They've got the discretionary income. Great. The ones on the bottom are like, I just play this game. I really don't care. And it's the people in the middle that have to make the choice, that are really involved in the game and stuff, that have to make those tough choices. Do I spend a couple $100 for this so I can still keep up to where I have invested the time and the energy and stuff like that? So, yeah, it's going to cost some people some money, because a lot of people are going to be really close. And they're going to be like, I'm short on gear, I'm short on this, I'm short on that. And they're going to...
That's what I said, under $100, you should be able to get it.
You don't have any evidence whatsoever, Finn, that it's going to be under $100.
I think it's going to be under $100 based on the galactic packs that they've already put out.
The galactic packs are not going to make a damn bit of difference, Finn. $8.99 pack with 10 stun guns is not going to make a damn bit of difference.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's
stun
not.
Stun guns are pretty hard to come across.
10 stun guns with how many characters that need stun guns? Have you looked at
these? I mean, really, the only one
fives and
yeah, I have them at gear 12. If you're a veteran player, you already have these characters.
Like 10 out of what 100 that still need.
Why are you assuming
more.
They're starting at gear 1? These are characters for veteran players that have had it. Finn. You've had time and reason to work on Rex and
I have been doing that, and I know what it took. I've had the time, and I'm in a position to where the gear focus in me can go on that. If you look at my roster, what am I focusing on? I'm focusing on the stuff I'm supposed to be focused on, because on the bottom, I really have nothing left to farm other than these characters. I've been hyper-focused on the clones, Shakti, Separatists. They're squared away, and I've been working on relics, because you got to compete in arena and you got to compete in other stuff.
And do you have your droid squared away?
They're 16.5. They just need some pieces. I've left them at 16.5. I took Grievous to gear relic 7.
So gear isn't a concern.
It will be, because I still have to take them. Now I can cheat. I've been lucky that I've been able to save Zetas as well. So I can put a Zeta on Shakti, Jordica, and what's the other one? Magnagard. And they'll all be in the requirement, right? The thing for me is just Anakin's ETA. So we're going round and round here, so I'm just going to go to some questions. So let's do that. Let's see here. What was the first one we had? A lot of questions. I better find Fourth Okage's, because he donated. He said, I had a really good question. Did you put question in front of your statement there, Fourth Okage?
I don't think it shows up in Nightbot if you did a super chat, but we can bring up all the super chats.
Yeah, if you can see if you had a question there.
Oh, I'll shout out all the super chats.
Yeah. We'll do that here. Darsai 1972 question, Ranger, can you show your ETA? I did show my ETA. Thank you. Brian Bode said, question, is the ship GP 40K the ship power on the crew power? I think it's the ship power, not... Is it I think they said ship. This is 40 GP, so whatever this...
It's on the ship. You don't have to get the character to 40,000. You have to get the ship.
No, it's the ship.
The ship has its own
so
GP. The crew power contributes.
Yeah, total power. Yeah, the crew power. Yeah, Finn's right. So you have the crew power, but you see, like, for instance, Anakin's 29,000. The total power is 51,000. So the rest of this came from everything here that I did with his abilities and stuff that put him at 51,000. So it's a combination. We'll say it's a combination.
It should be the total. It should be what you see as the total power.
Yeah,
if they do crew power would be ridiculous. I'll tell you right now.
Lord.
Because crew power, my Anakin has a Zeta, is gear 12, and is currently 30,000.
Mine's Relic 3, and I'm like, mine's 29,486 at Relic 3. With the Zeta. That sucks.
Wait, yours is 29,000?
Crew power, yeah.
Did you not have the ability leveled up or something?
What do you mean? It's leveled. It's checked. It's maxed out.
Mine is gear 12 with the Zeta at level 6, and my crew power is 30,000. How the hell is yours 29?
Maybe mods? You have 60 mods?
Do I have 60 mods? No, I have 4 greens, a yellow, and a purple.
I have no idea, because mine are gold.
How is yours? How is yours 29?
Man! Don't ask me to explain.
What the hell? Go to your Anakin. I want to see your Anakin. What the hell mods do you have on it that suddenly your ship power, your crew power is less? I don't understand.
One purple mod. The rest are 5A. Or 5A.
How the hell do I have... And all your abilities are maxed out too?
Yes! He's got
How the hell does my ETA have... Oh, your ship is 5-star. That's why. It's not scaling.
Oh, you're talking about the crew power. Okay, yeah, that's why.
The crew power does scale.
You gave me a heart attack, you son of a...
You were giving me a heart attack. I was trying to figure out what the hell was going on with your
I was just
power.
explaining, like, this is part of it, and then you add this up here, and then you're all like, wait a minute. Oh my God.
Like, my Anakin is worse gear than yours, and you have less crew power. How the hell did that happen? Yeah. But yeah, it's because you have a 5-star.
The ship's 5-star.
It's because yours is 5-star, so the crew power isn't scaling. When you get the higher one, it'll come up. That's why. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Oh, God. Ronan Zai question, do you think you'll be able to do any of the 4 parts if you don't meet the requirements for the first part, or do you think that you'll have to go 1, 2, 3, 4? You're going to have to, it's going to go in order, right? I think for Malik was like that, so you have to have
1,
all
2, 3,
of it.
4.
Like, you can't, I'm trying to remember, could you, no, if you didn't have, for Malik, I think if to just, like you could
Malik was just 2 different events, so that was different.
Yeah, it was different because you could do the light side because you had the characters, right?
Yep,
But
that's what I did.
You couldn't do this. You couldn't do the dark side. I don't know how this is going to play. You might be able to do 1 and 2, and 3.
I think it's going to be like the CLS where might or. Which one was it? Was it
I think it was CLS.
Ray?
7?
Ray or CLS? One of them had the characters as a requirement, but you didn't need them for one of the tiers. You probably could have done it. You're probably going to be stuck.
Yeah, you're probably going to be
stuck at the tier that you can't do.
Yeah, like say you can do 1, but you can't do 2, then you'll be stuck at 2. So this is as far as you'll get to go. So, so if you don't have mine's the first tier, that sucks. I'm going to be like the last tier, bastards. Darsai 1972 question: Watch CG will make a ton on ETA and Shakti, only to have tier 1 be impossibly hard. Yeah, I don't know how hard it's going to be. I mean, if it's a Malik style event,
I think it's going to be equivalent to, and you brought up a good analogy, I think here accidentally, the Chewie event with the bounty hunters.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be like that, where you can do it with endurance, but negotiator is really what's going to make it easy. But nobody has a 7-star negotiator, I don't think, right now. I think max is 5. So I think it's going to be easier for everybody the second time around if they work on their negotiator. I think you can do it with endurance, but you might find that you need higher level than the 40,000 in order to do the ships, because endurance is not the correct capital ship that is designed for. I can see them doing that because they did the same thing with the Chewie event and really requiring Bosk, and if you didn't have him, it was a struggle in order to get him.
Oh, yes, it was. I have 6 hours of me drinking that proves that. Were there any questions to Super Chat? We've got a lot of Super Chats or anything. Let's do the Super Chat.
I'll do the Super Chats.
I got the next question up after that, so we'll go to the next question.
Okay, so Minato first... let's see. Minato's question was, B2 and Droideka need loads of stun guns and Carbantes. I don't think I'll get enough for both. So since I'll have to drop a Zeta, who gets it?
Jesus.
I'll put a Zeta on B2 before I put it on Droideka.
Yeah, B2 is you get more bang for your buck with that Zeta. That's a
Droideka's even falling out of the team now. That's the problem.
I know. And then
Droideka isn't even the 5th.
He's a really good character, but just the other ones are better.
He is.
It's crazy, dude. Because
like people are putting nude and what? Like Jordika's just falling off the team now.
He gets invulnerability for a round or two, and then he can one-shot characters. But you're like, you look at the other stuff, you're like, nah. It's crazy. I love that, dude. Poor Jordika. I love me some Jordika, but as soon as my WhatsApp's gonna be like, sorry, Jordika, your time has ended. But what do the other super chats say?
Just reading the other super chats.
Call out the name and let's
Minato again said, Finn Ranger, I have a legit question. We read it now. So D Perks, how many refreshes did you do? Because I feel like I think you mentioned this one already.
A ton.
And then Zerial ANZGC.
Hey, we just the Australian those are our buddies.
He donated $7.99 Australian and said, here's what the cheap pack costs in Australia. Buy the pack on your screen now for the fleet energy to farm ETA. Well,
problem is with Super Chat is that we don't see that.
You did it twice, actually.
Yeah, we don't see that. So if you want to, I might as well, because I'm going to get hounded by this, Finn. If you want to support the Ranger Gets This Foundation, you have to go to our YouTube homepage. There's a RSG PayPal set up. Because YouTube, first of all, takes 30%. Second of all, we don't see that money for a while.
Well, he donated twice to $7.99.
I know, but I won't. So that's what, 30% of that, then I won't see it for a while. So it's not going to pop in for a bit. Twitch is better about that. I don't know why YouTube is so greedy. All right, what are the other super chats?
That's it. That was
we're caught up. Okay, good.
I'll read any super chats that come up.
Okay,
now.
Cool. Shaka1 question. I was willing to spend money to get General Skywalker, but can't because they haven't brought back the Padme event. Do you think CG realizes they are missing out on income because of this? When did Padme come back? She was out last month? How long
She was here very recently. So here's kind of the crux of it, right? They're doing things in the release, I think, of Malik.
Yeah.
And if you remember, Malik came out and there wasn't Darth Revan coming back.
No.
And I think Jedi Knight Revan actually didn't come back either, if I remember. Or maybe Jedi Knight Revan came, but people needed Darth Revan, something like that. So it is not surprising to me that Padme is not going to come out. I am sure they are aware of what they're losing because they could have gotten people to focus on Padme
this month
and done
coming.
it. Yeah, but I don't think it's going to come. No, I think they're trying to make it. So this goes back to something I mentioned like a month ago. If you look at what they did with the Revans plus Malik, they've changed the way for us to think about these events. So with the Darth Revan event, right, being needed for Malik, when you have a character that can be linked to somebody with that kind of level of character, which I think at the time we all thought there might be another kind of Anakin coming up. They make it so that you feel, again, the a little bit of pressure to spend because you don't know if there's going to be another event before this one comes back that's going to be tied to that event. And so they did that with Darth Revan. And then same thing with Malik, which is he wasn't here for so long and he was the meta for so long. And I think General Skywalker will be the meta under a Padme team. He was basically not here for so long and left as the meta that everyone now gets worried about, okay, the next time an event like this comes, which is coming now, General Skywalker, can I miss out on this event? Is the question that goes into your head. And that's what sometimes forces you to spend. And so that's what they're trying to push you towards, which is spending more towards getting those legendaries and then spending more in order to get you to get that rare character like General Skywalker is going to be now and like Malik was. That's the mindset that they're trying to get you to. And so I don't think they're going to bring back Padme. And so it's just going to be unfortunate. So, but it is what it is. That means you'll get Padme the next time she comes, and you'll be ready for the next time that General Skywalker comes if you have.
Yeah, they'll do it before then, but you still have to level her. She's got chirotex and stuff on her. Not the easiest thing to do, but hopefully they give you enough time to do it. So, Kazakage2, easy question. Ranger, I have the Knights of Ranger ready to storm CG headquarters, just waiting on the signal. Hang tight. I may be going solo on this one, but keep the Knights of Ranger ready. I will give you the code word when needed. Bad Rongo question. For the ship GP, is it the total power? I think we already answered this.
Yeah. There was a few questions about that.
Did that. Okay. Max power question. How long will the event run for? No idea. It could be.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna be like 3-4 days, like the Malik event. I don't think it's
what's
gonna
it?
be
The
a week.
7th, 8th, 9th. So 7th today, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Probably 2 days. So, oh man. I mean, it could run a week. I don't know. Right?
I doubt it. I think they're gonna do another
but
Malik.
yeah.
This is like another Malik written
Yeah.
all over it.
Cashmere question: 7-star unlock or 5-star 5-star and have to use Gax to 6 and 7 stars. It's a 7-star unlock. You don't unlock him until like it'll be like Malik, where you get the final all the what you need to do it. So no 5 or 6 stars unlock, unfortunately.
Did it say no? But is Skywalker gonna be a 7-star unlock?
I think he is going to be a 7-star unlock.
They didn't say that, right? I was thinking he's gonna be a 5, and you're gonna need to use shards in order to finish him, like you did Malik.
Oh,
I think that's what you're asking, right, Kashmir? Because that's what I'm thinking too. I think that's what he's asking. My guess is that you're going to end up making Skywalker a 5-star,
so bad,
and then you get Anakin shards with your get 2s when Lightside GOTV comes out.
Wow, that's gonna suck.
That's going to be my guess, and then you get Malevolence from one of the special missions in Lightside GOTV.
I think it's going to be Kai and Monday.
You can. I mean, you can get multiple, maybe.
Could be both. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But you still have to get the Negotiator probably for the light side, right? So you're gonna have to get Negotiator
and
Anakin.
Yep.
Holy crap.
That's my guess. We don't know for sure, Kashmir, but I think that would be my guess is that Skywalker is going to be a 5-star unlock, and then you're going to need to get I'm going to guess get 2 currency in order to finish him off.
Good question. I didn't even think about that. Yuta, the question is, how is this going to affect Episode 9 characters, or will they add to the meta like General Skywalker will? I don't know.
We have 3 months.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's November.
We have 3 months until the meta shift. We're going to get introduction of characters up until Christmas, and then after the event is probably when we're going to get some big event that's going to be the meta shift in order for us to get it. So just be ready to start farming the shards of the Episode 9 characters that they're going to drop, plus work on your Resistance and First Order if you're working on that meta. Again, we don't know anything yet, but it's a good idea to try and get 7-star of all the characters.
Yeah. Seeger Chanovsky, question: when they say ships, we already did that one. We already answered all that. So, the working question: what characters will I need for Episode 9 Legendary Epic? Only chance I have of getting it is to guess now and hope to get lucky. I mean, I have no idea at this point. I think Finn just hit it. First Order and Resistance, right? They're really the only characters tied into Episode 9 that we have. And the good thing is, those characters...
Jedi Training Ray and BB-8, for sure, you'll probably want to have.
Yeah.
But,
and Kai, at least Gear 12. So you can make the push there. Andy Fox question: are we calling General Anakin Skywalker gas? I feel like that's funny. God, oh, Jesus.
I'm okay with that.
Johnny Moran question: I need to bring 3 of the droids up about 3 gear levels each for this. How do I do that without spending? You don't. Because if I think it's like IG, Magna Guard, too many Corbantes and stuff.
Crystals. Otherwise crystals. You have to get high in arena, save your crystals. You'll have to buy some stuff.
Yeah, but I don't, for 3 gear levels.
No, you can, but you have a little bit of time, but not a lot. But you'll have to.
It's possible, but
it'll be a whole thing of converting your energy, or not your energy, your currency into shard shop tokens and buying stuff every time they show up in the shard shop, but not your guild store. You'll have to buy everything from the guild store. You'll also have to use probably your guild event tokens in order to buy some gear, and then you'll have to use your remaining crystals outside of your 600 in order to buy gear as well. So you probably can. I don't think it's impossible to raise your character 3 gear levels within about a week, because even if the event is there for only about 2-3 days, you have close to a week from today. So it's possible. It's just going to require a lot of expenses, and I don't know what your roster is like for sure, Johnny, in order to say whether or not it's worth it. But yeah, it's possible, just not easy or cost effective.
That's a tough one, Johnny M. ND Fox question: does Ranger think they'll launch legendaries that don't require a percentage of their player base to spend on? If not, he's crazy. Any longtime player should be prepared for this event. What more do you want me to goddamn do, ND Fox? I have been farming my ass off, spending all my crystals, getting one in arena every day. What more would you say? The fact that someone is saying that I should have been prepared for this can kiss my ass. What more would you have me do? I have been farming my ass off for this stuff. It's not like I've been sitting here twiddling my thumbs. And you can see from my roster, I've done a hell of a good job with the GR, the clones, separatists, everything like that. I'm just missing ETA. Problem is, I just couldn't get to each one of those. And it's not like ETA is like at 3 stars and I haven't been working on them. I've been working on them, doing the refreshes, spending the crystals. That's why I don't have a hoard of crystals that I do, because I'm working on Chirotex, I'm working on Gear 12, I'm working on relics for these characters to be ready for light side GOTB, plus what I did for Separatists. What more could I have done? It's not like I did not spend the crystal refreshes and stuff. It's not like I haven't been getting extra energy. It's not like I haven't been doing what I should have been doing. I don't know what people think I should have been doing more of. I mean, I
don't know why people think it's bad to get something the second time around. I don't really know what the...
but I mean, the fact that they don't understand how I'm not prepared. Everything but ETA is ready to go. I just don't have ETA because of just shards. And I just cannot literally do it any faster than I was doing it. I don't know what more I could have done than I wasn't doing already. Maybe I could have been farming ETA along with Shakti, but my priority was B1 and Shakti to get those teams done. And I'm benefiting from it. I've got the Zetas on Rex, and I've been farming Zetas. I've got 4 Zetas in the bank. I just put one on Rex. I just put one on 5s. That team's looking really good. Because I'm thinking just outside of this at GAC, I'm thinking about light side GOTB. The only reason I started going back to ETA is because I'm like, I'm going to need this ship, right? I don't have any other... the good thing is I don't have anything fleet related that I need to work on. Like, well, I'm going to take Anakin to Relic 3. I'm going to go hard on him again, which I've been doing. You can see he's 27 at 85. So obviously I've been putting in the work. Now, I can't control RNG, and I can't control the fact that I've been hosed on some of the drop rates. It's just the way it is. So that's how I don't have it. But it's not lack of effort, it's not lack of trying, and it's not lack of doing the right thing. Because you can see from my roster, I've done a hell of a lot to do the right thing. All right.
You should have got a $50 donation to your PayPal from someone in order to help you.
No, I don't expect that from the fans. That's ridiculous.
You already did. I'm telling you.
I don't expect that from anybody. So.
Well, you got it. I'm telling you. They told me to tell you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Put it in your PayPal to help you get Skywalker.
Well, thank you, whoever that was. I'll look for it and I will send you a personal thank you. But you guys don't have to do that. Yeah, I guessed wrong. Nathaniel Morgan, you're absolutely right. I guessed wrong. I guessed wrong. I wouldn't say I guessed wrong. I did the clones and I did Shakti and I did B1, right? Those are the things I've been working on of late, right? Improving my separatists. I got the Geos to 12. That was a priority, right? Getting gear on them and getting GBA to 13. That was a priority for me. And then getting the other separatists with Zetas and getting them 16,500 was what I was shooting for with the separatists, because I'm going to use those in Darkside GOTB. And then I'm like, okay, I've got GR squared away. Where do I go to next? And I went all in on clones, right? I had to do the gear for Echo and 5s, which was a nightmare. But I'm like, let me work on Shakti. I got to get her shards. So I went hard into there, because after I did B1, I'm like, Shakti was the next priority, right? To get her shards knocked out. And then I'm like, say, because I had a plan of action. B1 Shakti. Then I would have all my hard nodes done from ships. And then it was like, okay, let's get the ETA done. But I had no idea they're going to drop this on here. So I guess wrong, guys. I guess totally wrong. All right. CPO 97 question: who's greedier, YouTube or CG? Oh boy, I think we could talk about that one for a long time, Finn.
CG. I hate to say it, but it's going to be CG, because YouTube at least gets money from the people that are paying for the ads.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. It's unfortunate. I don't know if that's necessarily the word, but yeah, it would be CG of those two.
Yeah. Muddy Paws, I skipped a couple here. Muddy Paws MP? Question, do you think 19,000 droids, powered droids will be enough? Oh, yeah. That's more than enough. You only need 17.5, but
I think the character stuff's going to be easier than the ship.
Yeah. Leonardo D. I never say this name right. Democalculacalan. I can't even say that. My good friend Leonardo. Questions. So this will be a 5-star unlock. Don't know for sure, but it looks that way. What currency do you think will be needed if it is 5-star? Get to.
Yeah, I think it's going to be 5-star and get 2. That's my guess.
Keith Constantino question: What will be meta GR team? I don't know. I'm going to guess. See how you feel about this, Finn. If it's the new Anakin, Ahsoka, the 3 new clones, 501st. Pretty nasty. And I haven't even seen Anakin's kit yet. I'm terrified to see his kit because it's going to be like, if it's like Malik. Oh my God, Finn. Oh my God. Oh.
It's an interesting.
Because that'll leave the other Anakin you can use for your Padme team, and the new Anakin could go on the 501st team. So you have 2 Anakins, one for the Padme team, Jedi Anakin, and then General Anakin, which could be used on the clone team. Initially, that's my thoughts.
I have a fear, and I'm hoping it doesn't come true. But my fear is that Anakin is going to be the new lead of a Padme team.
Oh.
And his leader ability will actually, if Padme is on the team, implement her leader ability too.
Oh. God.
I have that's my, because he was closer to Padme than he was as Jedi Knight Anakin when he was General Skywalker. Right? Like, that's his evolution.
You're scaring me.
Right? So my fear is that it's going to be an Anakin lead with Galactic Republic, so you'll have Kenobi and Padme, and I think maybe Ahsoka and 3PO might be the team, and his leader ability will have something, and will also allow for the courage stacks to go off like with Padme's lead. So that's my guess. And the game will break.
Oh, I know it's not a shot at me, ND Fox. It was just, ND Fox. You know, I'm cool. We're cool, brother. I know that wasn't a shot at me. All right, questions. God, you got me thinking about that, Finn. God damn it. Ray Rock, no, we don't think this will be a 7-star. I thought maybe it was, but Finn has corrected me, and I think it is going to be a 5-star.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I was trying to see if they said anything. As far as I've seen, they haven't. So I'm going to guess it's a 5-star unlock, just like Malik was, and we're going to somehow need to get the shards. Because they basically almost said that they're paralleling the
Malik event, right?
The Malik event.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Keith Constantino, question, 501st or GR meta team?
I think it's GR.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, I have to see the kit. I mean, there's a lot of things we just don't know. So
we just got a super chat. Minato.
Yeah. Oh, fourth Hokage
donated $2 and said, "When General Skywalker has his retribution ability, will General Skywalker have his retribution ability in Battlefront 2?"
I hope not, because I'll have nightmares, man. Because General Skywalker, old Anakin in Battlefront, which looks exactly the same as this character, he's a little bit OP.
Oh, so here's the other thing, really quick.
Oh God.
So I actually think
that he's gonna be OP.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, but God.
Here's what I'm thinking, actually, though. The 2 Anakins won't work together on the same team.
That's a possibility.
Because I think something that's going to be a part of Anakin's leader ability is that the characters don't gain a bonus turn, right? We've had all this thing with bonus turn and turn meter gain and all of that, right? I think what's going to happen is that General Skywalker is going to end up on the Padme team. Padme's abilities are also going to reference Anakin as Commander or General Skywalker, right? Anakin is now going to be the lead for the 501st.
Okay.
I think that's where the transition is going to go. That Jedi Knight Anakin is now going to be a 501st leader. That's my guess. It could be the other way around, that Padme stays the way it is and General Skywalker ends up being a 501st leader. But I think it's going to be the other way, where it's going to somehow incorporate General Skywalker with Padme and Jedi Knight Anakin. He's going to go with the clones.
Oh, let's see. Oh,
that's just my guess.
Let's see. Jacob Ward, question: my shortage is ship currency and Rex ship shards. Any advice of earning more ship currency?
No, unfortunately, it's just getting higher in fleet. But I don't know.
Yeah,
if that's
Rex shards, getting your clones. If you don't have, they're hard to get. I think Rex and Rex, I know, is a pain in the ass. I'm trying to remember fives. Fives wasn't, I don't think.
No, fives was a galactic. If you're talking about a ship, Umbaran was from Galactic War, so that was easy.
Yeah, Rex.
Rex was a hard one. Poe was a hard one, and Scimitar was like the hard one.
Yeah, Ahsoka's GW. Anakin's. Umbaran, no. Plo, no. Oh, Plo is not GW. He is ship currency, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm pretty sure Plo Koon is in Galactic War.
I don't remember getting him in Galactic War. I'm almost certain that you don't get his ship in GW.
Plo Koon?
Plo Koon, yeah.
You
get Sergeant. You can get. I think Ahsoka was in there. Umbaran, but I don't.
Maybe Plo Koon is a hard node that you can double up with someone.
I don't remember, but I don't.
Plo Koon wasn't. I remember he was an easy one to get, but I don't remember where I got him. Let me see.
I could be wrong on that, but I think he was GW and stuff. So
he was GW.
He was? Okay.
So no, I thought you said he was.
No, I don't think he was GW. I'm pretty sure. Let me see.
He has a hard node with Spirit. I know that. So I just checked that. But I thought Plo Koon was a Galactic War. I don't remember the sword stuff though.
It's been a while since I've farmed these, so bear with me and Finn because it's been a while. So Ahsoka is. Yeah, I think she's GW. Plo is Guild Event Store. You can get him, and then he's part of the Spirit Cantina, so he's Cantina. All right, yeah, I knew he was somewhere, but it wasn't GW, so he's Guild Event Store. Okay. Clone Sergeant's GW, Jedi Counselor's GW, and Barnes GW. Rex was shipped, if I'm not mistaken.
Rex is fleet.
Yeah,
that one
fleet.
I remember.
Yep, he's fleet. Yep, so Plo's not that bad. I mean, Get and Cantina, but he's a Cantina farm. Rex kind of a pain in the ass to get, so... But not as... It's just... someone was telling me that it's hard to get his ship sometimes because it's never there, so... It is what it is. Mm-hmm. So... let's see. Travis Anderson question. The meta shift is required now. GS doesn't seem feasible as next meta realistically for a while. Do you think they're more likely a Mace Windu meta in the meantime? Mace RW is soon, in my opinion. No, I don't think so.
No. You might get a rework.
We'll have to see what his rework, if he gets one. That might change some stuff, right?
I think even with the rework, he's not necessarily going to be meta. I think he's going to be designed more for light side GOTB.
Yeah, could be. Let's see here. Nathaniel Morgan question: should I triple refresh Vulture Droid? Is this the only way to not get screwed in this game now? I've been doing doubles, Nathaniel.
Honestly,
I've been doing doubles, Nathaniel. You'll do what you need to do, buddy.
The nice thing about this, anyways, is that if you needed Vulture Droid, it probably would have been on dark side under Malevolence.
Yeah.
So light side, you might be a little bit more free.
Yeah. Fourth Okage question: should I take my Mace to Gear 13 for this event? I already have 4 non-capital GR ships, so I should be good there. I think Gear 12 will be fine. If you got him at Gear 11, that should be fine. If you have your abilities maxed out, you're more than fine. I don't really know. That's a good question. But if you've got the power of the ship, you have to play around with it and see if that makes a difference. But I don't know. I kind of hoard a little bit on that just in case the fourth Okage, just to be safe. Cashmere question: what previous meta team will be a hard counter to the JS but then get nerfed within a week?
I don't think it's going to be. I don't think you're going to see the episode 9 meta until about until about January.
Yeah. Keith Constantina question, when are baby Luke and Leia coming to the game? Well, we've got all versions of different Lukes and Leia. I think that we'll get old man Luke and Leia.
Luke, doo 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 doo, baby Luke, doo 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 doo, baby Luke, doo 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 doo, baby Luke. Okay.
Grandma Luke, doo 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 doo. Grandma Leia, doo 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 doo. Well, they were in the books, Finn.
Okay.
Try to tell me what the... No, the damn EU books, you know. Kaya, hey Kaya. Just a question. Do you think new Anakin will have a summon if you kill the summon fives, will do a sacrifice thing? Ooh.
What would he summon? A clone?
No, so like Anakin, like GBA?
I'm assuming she's talking about like GBA, but I don't know.
No, I don't think they're going to do that with him. I think he's just going to be...
I don't know what he would summon. He would have to summon like a clone or something like that, and then maybe, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's not going to be a tank. I think we can agree on that, right? He's going to be an attacker of some sort. Leader, attacker, right?
I wonder if he might be a support.
I
think he's going to be I think he's going to be an attacker, but I could see him as a support depending on how they built his kit.
Yeah. It's going to be attacker, leader, a bunch of stuff. He's going to have 3 Zetas, probably 6 abilities, is at least 5, right? Possibly 6 abilities. I mean, we're thinking Malik style character here, so 3 Zetas, gonna need it, you know. So, the mind wanders, Finn. What do you think? I think 3 Zetas is the minimum he's going to have, right?
Yeah, he's going to have 3 Zetas.
3 Zetas. How many abilities? I say 6. Over, under 6. You think 5 or less, or 6 or higher?
No, so who knows? We need more information.
I know. For the Gagi, Anakin summons the daughter and the son. Oh, goodness.
But Padme must be on the team.
Yeah.
They run off screen, come back with 2 babies.
Yeah, there you go.
And then Padme dies.
Yeah, that's right. Padme dies once General Anakin...
And instead of the damage, it just writes sadness.
Yeah, just sadness. Depression, Finn? Maybe depression?
Sadness in red. It was crit damage from sadness.
Depression. Leonardo Dima Calacan. I can never say that. Question.
Demaculangan?
Demaculangan?
Yeah, I think so.
Demaculangan? I probably just totally butchered that. He's like, damn it, Ranger! Question. Assuming get to currency will be needed for General Anakin, what would be the priority? Negotiator, General Anakin? Anakin. That's gonna
it depends.
I mean, it depends on what you want to do, but I mean, Negotiator is a good ship.
Negotiator may be needed for an event.
They both, but I think they're both going to be needed.
I don't think Anakin is going to be required for. They didn't make Malik required for.
That's true, but
I don't think it's going to be a requirement except for platoons.
It could be for platoons, but it wouldn't shock me if they did, man, because it's related to
a character this rare being a requirement for a mission. To me, that would be too much.
Yeah, but it wouldn't shock me if they did. But
because they haven't ever made a legendary ever the requirement.
They haven't yet.
So I'm trying to think of any of the ones that had the requirement. I can't think of a legendary that was a requirement.
But we've never had a legendary associated directly to the time period that the other stuff has come out with, right? You're right about Malik, Old Republic, everything else like GOTB, 2 totally different timelines and stuff like that. But Anakin is a general, and General Anakin from the Clone Wars era as we go into light side GOTB. It's a possibility, man. I'm just saying. I tend to lean on toward you, but it wouldn't shock me whatsoever. Travis Anderson question, with 15 required to get GS, do you think this will be the standard from now on for new release monsters? Does that mean we'll need 50 characters to unlock Luke?
It's just 10 characters and 5 ships. The ships run in parallel.
I mean,
The
John,
ships are a lot easier to. There's no gear or anything really associated with the ships, and you can get them.
yeah, the ships are not that bad. I mean, you can get them to
Ships are just
40,000.
shard farms. It is an additional shard farm, but the problem with the characters is the gear in addition to the
Yeah,
shards.
the characters are more what's going to get you than the ships. I mean, ships, if you've got them starred, get into 40,000 power is not that hard. Now, getting a character.
Oh, they make a good point. CLS was a requirement in Hot TB.
Oh, that's
There
right.
was a there was a special mission. You're right. So there is a chance that
our fans are the best.
Oh.
Johnny M. question:
Did you see? Wait! Did
What?
you just see what happened on Tiltify?
No.
Miss Jaka BM donated $50 on the Tiltify.
Well, thank you, Jaka. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna read her.
Yes, please do.
Her message. Give me 1 second so I can bring it up here. And she said, "Keep on keeping on, guys. Your hearts are true and full of love," and gave us a thumbs up. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Jaka. I love Jaka and her husband. I've reminded both their accounts. They're wonderful people. So I've got to spend a little time. I got to know them. They're awesome folks. So thank you, Jaka. Johnny M. question: will JS auto kill Tuscans? Yes, Johnny M. He will auto kill Tuscans. Ray Rock question: would the next similar type of event be pregnant Batman with gas energy? I don't think so. Oh God. Ziglet question: where's Grande in his wild speculation? He's busy with the kiddies. Grande's got a lot of stuff going on, guys. Privately, just Grande's going to be busy for a little bit. So, yeah. Keith Constantine question: can Annie get a ship? Little Annie? Like a Nabooian Starfire?
Once they introduce Jar Jar, they can share.
Yeah. Oh, little Annie! Oh, me so happy see you flying. It's moi. Let's see here. Nightmare question: are you excited to unlock gas only to then immediately platoonium for light side GOTB?
That's kind of what I'm expecting.
Oh, God.
That's what I'm expecting.
Oh, God, what'd that be? It's the worst.
Well,
man.
that's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have like 3 gases in your guild, and there's going to be like 4 required, so you're going to figure out, okay, well, we'll take these
unlocks, 3. So I don't know if they can put in platoons right away, because if light side's like dark
if they unlock
side,
at 5. Yeah.
If he unlocks at 5, and you have to have at least 6 star on the character, I don't think he'll be there for a bit.
They didn't stop it. They didn't stop it with Malik, so.
Rangers, stop calling him GAS. It's gas.
Yep, it's gas.
It's gas. Straight gas. Forget the curveball, Ricky. Give him the heater.
Straight gas.
Give him the gas.
Straight gas.
It's just Ian. Hey, guys, check out his channel. It's just Ian. Question: gas or JKA? Who will hit harder? I don't know, because we haven't seen.
We don't have his kit at all.
We don't have his kit, so I mean, we don't know what he's going to do and his power level. And
I mean, he might utilize the other characters in the team, right? So he might end up just calling other 501st to assist. I mean, he might have something similar to GBA and Hive Mind with clones, as far as we know, right? So that he may not have a lot of damage on his own, but the rest of them could. So who knows?
I mean, look at Remon talking trash. Remon question: is Remon Azob's psychic calling this last night? Yes, Remon, you're so powerful and wise, and your call of Anakin General coming into the game, even though people called it out before you did as a possibility.
I love Remon.
Yeah, she wants the best. Laugh it up, fuzzball, but you didn't see me in Finn in the South Passage. He expressed his true love for me. All right. Yeah, Cashmere, gas usually hits harder. Yeah, there you go. So no, I'm not reading that to Minato. How dare you? All right, now they're just getting silly with it. So, okay.
Well, I like that question.
Which one?
Will Gas's relic be a gaslighter or a can of beans?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's science, man.
Can it just be a sad face? I just want to make it a sad face. And then when you relic 7 your General Anakin, your Padme dies from your roster.
Oh my god.
I so want to see that. So everyone leaves General Anakin at 6-star because they don't want to lose their Padme.
Rooster says, question, does Remon still need a remod? Yes, he does. We're working on something for that. Possibly, maybe, sorta, kinda. So all right, everybody in Discord. I had to close Discord again because if you want to give to the Ranger Gets the ETA Foundation, it's on PayPal. Go to the YouTube homepage. Just like the Amazon wishlist stuff, you don't have to, but if you want to, go to the YouTube homepage. You can donate there. And I always use anytime somebody does that for any pack or anything, I always throw it toward whatever it needs to be done. So, yeah. So, all right. Okay. Question: will gas inflict a new debuff called sand? Oh, good lord.
No, he hates sand.
Question: will Remon put 3 or 4 star mods only on his GAS?
Guys are awful.
Oh, God. Oh, man. You guys are going hard. Oh, God. All right. I think we've gone through all the questions. Well, okay, one more from Nathaniel Word. Question: how do you mod gas? I think we need to consult. Can you bring Remod on? Oh, my God. God. You guys are ruthless, man. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. You got... Jesus. All right, that's enough. All right, so we've discussed this ad nauseum, guys. So the thing we always say is just be respectful for others people's thoughts. Some people like this, some people don't. Some people are like me, but be cool.
We don't even agree with each other.
Yeah, but I still love him. I'm still gonna kill him, but it's not out of hatred. A force choke is required sometimes. But if you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe. Go if you want to donate for the ETA. Go to the YouTube page, PayPal. Quit asking me. Please stop sending me Discord messages where I've said it a million times. So, God damn it. When they jump on something, Finn, they really jump on something, man.
Mm-hmm.
So we've added poor Remon. God, just brutal, man. But no, thank you guys for stopping in. We'll be back tomorrow on the lunch stream where we'll continue the madness. Oh, I got to show the mod, Finn.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to show this. I about stroked out. I don't know what it is, guys. This will be, if you could hit the thumbs up, that would really help us out, guys. I got to show this. I about stroked out. Every time I do mods on stream, Finn, what happens?
Mod depression.
Mod depression. I hit mod depression every time. Every time I dick around with mods off stream, I get a big hit. Let's just see what I just hit tonight. And it could have been even better. Oh, no, I hit the damn gear. No, get out of here. This bad boy. This diamond right here that's on Rex. 22 speed. I had a blue. I farmed it out of the store. I rolled it. It was out of the... I did mod challenges like I always do because I always like to get mods ahead of time. And I'll be damned if I hit it. It hit 17. And then the next one it hit 4. Now, I didn't hit the final one, so it was only 22 speed. But I was like, why does this happen when I do this crap offline? How come I can never hit this stuff when I'm online doing this stuff? I think it's a damn conspiracy, Finn. I really do. So, just wanted to show that to you guys. I know, Rooster, I got another one when I'm not on stream. I don't understand it. It's so weird. Like, if I'm not trying to show it... You would think CG would want me to hit stuff on the stream, since we stream so much. To show good things. But when I'm on stream, I can't even sniff a hit on a mod, man. So, that made my day a little bit better. So, there you go. All right, so we are going to call this one done. Everybody should thank Finn for staying up late because I know he's tired. He's a tired little guy. So Finn's going to get some sleepy. He needs it. And we'll be back tomorrow from 12 to whenever we get done with the lunch stream. And then after that, we'll take a little break. I'll do Battlefront tomorrow like I always do. So... Yeah, so with that, we're going to call this one done. Thank you guys for stopping in.